In this video, we're going to see how to turn a mixed radical into an entire radical. So the examples on the left here, 2 root 3, 3 root 5, 5 root 2, 10 root 7, these are all examples of mixed radicals. In the first one, 2 root 3, we can refer to 2 as a coefficient. And the idea here is to turn this into an equivalent expression that is just simply root of something. So what we have to do is replace the integer 2, that coefficient, with a radical. So this becomes root 4, and the root 3 stays as root 3, and we can then multiply the two radicals and get root 12. Now, how did we get the 4, you may ask? All we did was take that coefficient 2 and square it, since the square root of 2 squared is obviously equal to 2. So let's try it again with 3 root 5. We'll replace the 3 with the square root of 3 squared, namely 9. And then we'll multiply it by root 5 to get root 45. 5 root 2, we can replace the 5 with root 25. And then multiply that by root 2 and end up with root 50. And finally, this fourth example, root 10, we can replace with root 10 squared, which is 100. And then multiply that by root 7 to get root 700. Now, quite frankly, there's not a lot of point in doing this. One of the only applications I can think of where you really want to create an entire radical is when you have to compare two mixed radicals and you don't have a calculator. So it might be a little bit difficult to judge, for instance, which is bigger, 3 root 5 or 5 root 2. Because unless you have a really good idea of how big root 5 is or root 2 is, you're not necessarily going to be able to do this without a calculator. However, if you convert 3 root 5 to an entire radical, root 45, and you convert 5 root 2 to an entire radical, root 50, now it's pretty obvious. Root 50 is clearly bigger than root 45. So therefore, 5 root 2 is also bigger than 3 root 5.